To another edition of Disney 101. What's going on out there, guys? It's your boy Tommy on the spot. Welcome to Disney 101. And how are you doing today, Steve?
I am very excited. All of this Epcot news that we just heard about, all of this D23 stuff. It is mind blowing the amount of stuff that the amount of news and information that we just got.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah, I mean, just we knew D23 was going to bring it, but I don't think that even in our wildest imagination, I think even when we were going through all of our rumors, I don't think we could have came up with the amount of stuff that is coming out of D23, whether it be parks, whether it be Disney Plus, whether it be Disney International, whether it be movies, everything that's come out of this. But you're right, a park that's near and dear to both of us, Epcot. I can speak for myself. Obviously, Epcot's the place I decided to have my bachelor party. So it's a place that I've loved for many years, and was the first park that we had gone to when we made a return to Disney in 2013 after being away for 12 years. And so I think that it's just a great park, and it's a park that I thoroughly enjoy. And I know it holds a place in your heart as well.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of our favorite parks to go to, especially if it's just one that we're going to walk around, or when there's a festival, or just it's always kind of it seems like it's the most laid back park and the most chill park. So looks like that all is about to change though in the next couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, it really it's insane how much is coming to Epcot. I mean, they're really reimagining the entire thing. Being a fan of the park, I mean, I remember when I was talking to you, I'd say about maybe 9 months ago on Disney 101, I had said Epcot has tons of stuff to do, and you were like, name it. And then I started thinking about it, and I think that I realized that I love the World Showcase so much and spend so much time there that I don't think I realized how much really was missing from Epcot in comparison to some of the other parks.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people, the people that, myself included, go to Epcot's defense as well. It's more of an adult park, and it's more for like people that are interested in the World Showcase to go, and that is the main draw and everything. And most of the reason was that because everything in Future World was kind of dated,
Right.
Spaceship Earth, and a lot of the other stuff. It was supposed to be this this experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And tomorrow came and went and kind of left Epcot behind. And and so even with all of the merchandise, all this stuff, everything kind of had a very retro Epcot feel to it, because Epcot didn't really kind of have a lot going on right now.
Right.
So we had to kind of, hey, remember how Epcot used to be? It used to be cool, and now it's kind of, anyway. So but I think with all of these things, Epcot is definitely going to come into its own, and it's going to completely it's really from top down, like revolutionizing this park.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I'm excited about it. So should we start with, I guess, the biggest news and about the real, reimagining of all things Epcot, with the announcement that they're really separating Epcot into 4 different, is it lands?
So they're calling them neighborhoods, which, it's not like the Magic Kingdom where it has different themed lands, or, even like Asia, Animal Kingdom kind of separates Asia and Africa, and, a couple of these other things. With Epcot, they're breaking it down into neighborhoods. So it used to be the World Showcase and Future World, and then Future World was kind of divided into Future World East and Future World West.
Okay.
And they've kind of been playing around with that for a little bit too, but now it's official. We're going to get 4 different neighborhoods. Now, the World Showcase, as it seems in this layout, really isn't going to be changing a whole lot. Now, there are going to be additions and other stuff changing, but as far as the way the way the lines are kind of drawn to separate these neighborhoods, World Showcase really isn't. It might be losing like a little bit of real estate right at the beginning, where those the 2 gift shops kind of right at the front. I'm blanking on the names, but those 2 kind of gift shops right when you're walking towards the World Showcase from Future World is kind of where might be losing a little bit of real estate, but because that whole area that we right now know as Future World is actually going to be 3 different neighborhoods. It's going to be 3 different distinct neighborhoods.
Okay.
What is currently Future World East, which is where Test Track, Mission Space, the soon to be coming Guardians of the Galaxy attraction, which we'll get to, that whole side of the park is going to be called World Discovery.
Okay.
Which seems like it's going to be, an emphasis, keeping with those attractions and that kind of stuff in mind, space and technology and that kind of stuff. Then in the middle is going to be World Celebration. And now that is where Spaceship Earth is. And again, going to get a little bit more into what that's going to entail.
Okay.
And then over by Future World West, where the seas and the land and that kind of stuff currently is going to be called World Nature.
Nice. I like that. That's cool. And that'll be
all world themed, but yeah.
That's where you could like living with the land is and everything to that extent.
It's exactly.
Cool. Awesome.
So,
which one of the 4 are you most excited about?
I am. I mean, looking down and looking at all the different and all the new and exciting stuff that's coming out. I think just off the top of my head, I'm most excited about World Discovery because it seems like that's where the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction is going to be.
Right.
It seems like that's where this kind of other play area that they kind of alluded to a little bit is going to be, and that kind of stuff. So off the top of my head, I think that's the thing that I'm most excited about. But overall, just all of this stuff it sounds really cool.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah, it does. That sounds awesome, and it's something where I think that having that presence of Guardians of the Galaxy in the park specifically is going to just attract so many people. People are going to be so excited about that, and we do have a tentative date for that, right?
I think we do. Now, I think, let's see. It doesn't look like they've done a date, at least from the news that I have. But if you have an updated thing.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm wrong. But I thought it was like the next year or so, though.
There's not really more than that. They kind of have a tentative, hopefully by the 50th anniversary, but not
there yet.
None of this stuff really has a hard opening date or anything like that, and it's kind of a little bit smart for them to do that because they don't want to say we're announcing all of this stuff and all of this stuff is going to be ready by 2021.
Yeah,
because there's a fair chance that half of it won't be. But I think let's go ahead and get into some of the details here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd like to start with the World Showcase, because this was actually one of the things that had been a rumor for a while that we had talked about a couple of times.
I feel like we started the show.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
The confirmation of a Mary Poppins attraction. And it's the first Mary Poppins inspired attraction in the United Kingdom Pavilion.
And that is going to be Cherry Tree Lane. Is that correct?
So there's not a name for it yet, but Cherry Tree Lane is where the Bankses live. It's their street, and then it's that you're going to walk past Admiral Boom's house, which was the kind of senile, not really quite sure what's going on with him admiral that would just randomly blast a cannon in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night.
That's awesome.
And then enter number 17. Number 17, Cherry Tree Lane, is where the Bankses, their house is.
Where they reside.
It seems like that's where the attraction is going to be. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think here, because I am also looking up just a bit here to kind of piggyback off that. I think it's going to be an entire neighborhood coming to the UK Pavilion.
Really?
Yeah,
well, it does kind of look like that, and there is, it sounds kind of like maybe that's where the little pavilion there, the what's it called? The little thing where like the cover band performs.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So that little pavilion, that it's probably maybe they're going to either do away or add to that or something. Yeah. The great thing about Epcot is that backstage there is a lot of real estate back there that they can kind of develop past. So there's like the facade where you see all of the buildings for the World Showcase and everything like that. And then behind all of these facades, there's a ton of real estate where they can kind of move that way. So they can either move vertically or they can move horizontally, whichever way kind of is more conducive. But it looks like, based on the concept art at least, it's going to kind of be you step into the neighborhood and then you go into the Banks' house and then the attraction starts from there. We have no idea what kind of attraction this is going to be, whether it's going to be like a walkthrough or a dark ride, or, I doubt it's going to be an e-ticket. I can't see an e-ticket Mary Poppins attraction, but who knows?
Yeah. Because
it looks really cool.
They did just bring out a new Mary Poppins movie, right?
I think like a year or two ago.
Yeah, so I don't know if it'll be so like, I don't know, like people will be rushing in there to get on the marriage.
I mean, it would definitely. I mean, one way or the other, it's going to be something new and exciting to Epcot. So I think everything is going to be.
I'm sure we'll love it, but I don't know. Like when Frozen came, it was like,
well, and that's kind of the thing here is that, anytime Epcot got one new attraction, everybody would flood to it. It happened with Test Track, it happened with Soarin', it happened with Frozen, it happened with all of these attractions. But knowing that we already have all of these other attractions and knowing that there's so much more to come, I feel like this is what Epcot needed. I've been saying this for years. Epcot needs more attractions. It needs more rides. Where are all the rides? People would always come into Epcot and they'd look around and go, "Where are all the rides?" Yeah, and this is it. They're getting it finally. So that's kind of the amount of details that we have for Mary Poppins. And then there is going to be a limited run of Epcot Forever. Which kind of is that kind of in between Illuminations going away and the new Harmony Us.
Yes, which is what we got to wait for.
And it says it will debut as the largest nighttime spectacular ever created for a Disney park. It will celebrate how the music of Disney inspires people the world over, carrying you away harmoniously on a stream of familiar Disney tunes, reinterpreted by a diverse group of artists from around the globe. Harmony Us will feature massive floating set pieces, custom-built LED panels, choreographed moving fountains, lights, pyrotechnics, lasers, and more.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And the show that's in between, that one's called
Epcot Forever.
Epcot Forever. And that one starts October 1st, right?
I believe so.
Are you going to get down there and check that out?
I'm sure I will. I will check out Epcot Forever at some point. Maybe not October 1st. Maybe like that next weekend or something.
Well, I'm sure October. I don't know if it's going to be a type of thing where you have 1 million people there for Epcot Forever, but
you could. But it's a school night, so.
Oh, is it a school night? Oh, for you, it's a school.
Yeah, for me, it's a school night. So.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us on Disney. Well, just joshing you there, but yes, I'm with you. Yeah, so that probably would end pretty. That's probably like their thing ends at 9:00, right? Is when they usually start their shows.
Usually it's at 9:00. So.
And the day before, on the September 30th, is the final day of. It's like a quick turnaround, right?
It is, yeah. Well, I think that's why they're doing the limited run of Epcot Forever, because it's probably a good stopgap in between them. Right. Between setting up all of because there's all of this testing and all of this other stuff that's going to have to go on. It happened with Rivers of Light, where a lot of the floats and stuff weren't working properly. So they did open it, and then it was kind of a muddled little mess, and then they had to take it back and redo it and all this stuff.
Right. Excellent. Well, that does sound pretty interesting, and the show does sound great too. And I think that it happens so rarely when they change the show. I mean, it's been years and years that Illuminations has been there, right? Hasn't it been at least over a decade?
It's been almost exactly 19, almost going on 20 years, because it came off with the 2000 celebration, with the Millennium celebration and everything. So that's when Illuminations first showed up and stuck around. So it's at this point the longest running here at Disney World.
Even longer than Fantasmic.
I feel like it is, at least in its current incarnation, because Fantasmic has kind of
changed around,
redone, and kind of added new stuff and everything.
Right.
So
that sounds very cool. That sounds cool. Definitely something to look forward to, and that's next year.
It is, in 2020. Again, not an official release date, but also in the summer of 2020, a little bit more of a definite opening. The France Pavilion will offer even more for you to discover, including the much anticipated attraction, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure,
which is awesome,
where you'll shrink to the size of Chef Remy and race through Gusteau's restaurant on a wild adventure. Summer 2020 will also see the debut of a delicious new restaurant in the France Pavilion, Le Crêperie de Paris.
Yeah, which is awesome. First off, I love crepes, and so a creperie sounds like a lot of fun to go to. Definitely good as like a stopgap type of either dessert at the end of the day or something to kind of get you through as you're continuing along your stay. Sounds like a bit of a quick service, which will be good.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be doing quick service and table service.
Nice.
Options.
That's very cool. And Remy's Adventure is obviously that attraction does exist in DLP and is a lot of fun. I wonder if it's going to be the same attraction because in Disneyland Paris, Slinky's roller coaster is that's a kid roller coaster.
That is quite different. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's probably going to be about the same.
Right.
There might be subtle differences, but I'm sure it's going to be more or less the same concept at least.
Yeah. But that's cool. I mean, now you've got 2 new attractions to the World Showcase, which right now the World Showcase, if I'm not mistaken, only has, is it 2 attractions?
2, yeah. So there's the Grand Fiesta Tour.
Right, my favorite. And then
and Frozen. So there's 2. Then now there's a lot of other shows and stuff that they are redoing as well.
Right.
But so also in the France Pavilion, France is getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
There is the classic Impressions de France film. Will be joined by the new Beauty and the Beast sing-along, debuting in January of 2020, and directed by Don Hahn, producer of both the animated and live-action versions of Beauty and the Beast.
Which is great. I am curious because they're doing a Beauty and the Beast restaurant at some point.
They might be doing like a Beauty and the Beast themed bar at the Grand Floridian. So, again, we're kind of leveraging IPs here. We're leveraging the Disney movies that kind of haven't gotten. There's the Beauty and the Beast. There's Be Our Guest restaurant in the Magic Kingdom, but that's kind of it as far as the Beauty and the Beast.
Well, there's the live action show in.
Well, this isn't.
Yeah, that live action show I'm not huge on. I've seen it before, and the first time I saw it, I thought it was great, but it's good for a watch, and then that's it. It's like
it's the movie, you know. Right. You're not getting anything new or different or anything. It's a truncated version of the movie, so you know.
I hope though, because these sing-alongs, I've done them in the past with. I know the Frozen has had a sing-along, and what's cool about that is that they incorporate a lot of the characters in the sing-along, and so you're getting. Elsa and Anna, and I think even Olaf, or maybe one of the singers, kind of just has like an Olaf mask. So hopefully that's the same deal here with Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. And then a couple of other new stuff. So there's 2 new Circle Vision 360 movies. Now, have you ever checked out either of the Canada or China movies? If any of your times in Epcot?
I don't think so. But as I was reading this, I was like, this sounds incredible. But they have Circle Vision already there.
Yes, so there's 2. There's one in Canada and there's one in China. The one in Canada is narrated by Martin Short.
Oh, nice.
Who is, so it's kind of fun. Yeah. But they're both kind of known to be disorienting because it is Circle Vision and it's a completely like 360 panoramic view.
Really?
So imagine being in an IMAX theater that is 360 degrees and you're standing up.
Wow.
And you stand up and you walk in kind of these rows and there's handlebars to the front and to the back. And you kind of just have to hold on because with the transitions and stuff, it gets kind of dizzying.
Yeah.
Especially with like kind of the older technology that they use at the time. So the fact that we're getting 2 new updated movies, I'm hoping that also that it's going to be kind of an updated format as well. It looks like they're going digital, and you know, hopefully the transitions are a lot smoother. So it's kind of also something that those particular movies kind of needed.
Yeah.
While you're not, you know, it's good in you're not really investing too much here. It's probably a simpler kind of transition to do this, then instead of doing that, we're going to do a whole China ride or a Canada ride.
Right.
This is something that is existing that they're taking and saying, okay, you know, it's going to be new and updated, which is great, taking us again into the 21st century.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely do those when we go down next time. Yeah. So the new ones are both going to be again Canada and China.
Yes. So there is Canada Far and Wide is the name of the new one.
Sounds awesome.
And Wondrous China.
Nice. Very cool.
So also, so that kind of wraps up the World Showcase as far as the new stuff. That's kind of again not really so much of a surprise. The Mary Poppins thing maybe a little bit of a surprise, but aside from that, everything was kind of expected. This is just those official announcements.
Yeah, the Mary Poppins thing I think is really cool. I know Remy we've waited on, but did we know about the Crepeteria that was coming in? Because I think that's pretty cool.
I feel like I may have heard a rumor of that,
Okay.
but nothing really like super official.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I mean, not that France is lacking in any sort of food options because you got great breakfast, lunch, and dinner and dessert options there in France. But more is more, right?
Yeah, 100%. When it comes to Disney parks, more is more. Absolutely.
Yeah. So next we can maybe move on to the World Celebration, one of the new neighborhoods
Sure.
that we're kind of redistricting here. So World Celebration will offer new experiences that connect us to one another and the world around us. So of course, the iconic Spaceship Earth, this was one of those things that we knew Spaceship Earth was going to be going down for a lengthy refurbishment. And the thing was there was a lot of conversations, a lot of rumors and debate about what it was going to look like when it reopened.
Right.
I think now we have a little bit better of an idea of what it's going to look like. So Spaceship Earth will remain the iconic, kind of the icon at the park. Each park kind of has their icon. So this is going to stay the icon.
Thank God, right? Because I think that would have been really tough if they had switched that up and changed.
Yeah, so just knock it down and
yeah, that would have been really.
Yeah. So, but it will remain a voyage through time as the journey transforms to reflect the power of storytelling to unite the human experience. New narration and an entirely new musical score will focus on the moments and ideas that define our story. You will follow a magical story light that brings the entire experience to life in dynamic ways, giving each scene energy and beauty that ties the entire journey together.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think that I when we first found out about this, obviously I was a little bit upset. Not upset, just I guess disappointed because of the fact that the idea of Spaceship Earth for me was you're going through this attraction. I knew my parents had gone on this attraction. I knew my grandparents had gone on the attraction, so it was cool to kind of have that nostalgia factor. But it's a little dated, so it's good that they're updating it a little bit. I think, as we spoke about off air, no more Dame Judi Dench, so she's
right.
good.
Yeah, no more Judi Dench, and I mean it kind of makes sense because the last thing is set in the 70s and 80s, so
Right.
It's not necessarily the future anymore.
No.
So it's good, and it's something that it needed, and something that it needed for a long time. And I think now we kind of know why, maybe at least for the past couple of years, it hasn't seen anything, because maybe these plans have kind of been in the works for a while.
Could be, absolutely. And who do you think now? Because you said there's going to be a more up-to-date narrator.
Well, it just says a new narrator. It doesn't necessarily say an up-to-date narrator. So
it could be Dave.
It could still be. I said, because if we're fitting with the theme, and we're talking about storytelling, right? Storytelling to unite the human experience. A couple of names that popped into my head as far as storytellers go would be someone like Tom Hanks or Neil Patrick Harris,
Tim Allen,
maybe Tim Allen, or maybe Kristen Bell, like you had thrown around.
Yeah,
those are they are Disney people that have narrated Disney stuff before.
Yeah.
Or maybe actually Mark Hamill has narrated a couple of Disney things too.
That would be very cool.
Maybe we could get a Mark Hamill cameo or something here.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. And then the new pavilion, there's going to be a new pavilion there in World Celebration, which is kind of that middle strip of the world, kind of a future world if you were to look at it as a map.
Okay.
There's going to be a new pavilion. Doesn't say where necessarily, but will be the perfect place for live events and the home base for Epcot's signature festivals. And it will provide a stunning, elevated view of the entire park and an ideal spot to witness Epcot's nighttime spectacular. The beautiful three-level structure will have one of the most remarkable architectural designs at any Disney park, featuring a plaza level, a middle expo level, and a park that sits in the sky on the top level.
That's interesting because that would suggest that the new nighttime show won't be in the water. But
No, I think it will be because so if you look at the concept art for that they released, you can see Spaceship Earth in the background, kind of far in the background. And the thing is that knowing where Spaceship Earth is not going to be moving. So if Spaceship Earth is far in the background, and we're talking about the fireworks that are going to be over the World Showcase, this is a little bit closer to the World Showcase. And there is a fountain in the background as well. So the fountain that is currently there, that's kind of right by where that tip board / pin trading little kiosk is, right past Spaceship Earth when you're walking towards it, right where the fountain is. This is going to be more in that kind of causeway that's going to be from that area to the World Showcase.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it actually might be a little bit closer to the World Showcase itself.
Yeah, it sounds cool. And I did know they also said they're doing a new statue of Walt. Is that?
I haven't seen that yet.
I think that was.
I'm sure it's going to be somewhere.
Yeah, I think that they. Let me see. I saw that they were doing I think it's like a new statue of almost like pondering Walt. I want to say.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, and I want to say that one was right in front of the new spaceship. Yes, confirmed. New scenes and narration coming to Spaceship Earth, including new Dreamer's Point, Walt Disney statue at Epcot.
Okay.
So I'll just take a quick look at this, and this is coming from WDW.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. As you exit Spaceship Earth, yeah.
Yeah, news today.
And you can actually, if you're on the Disney Parks blog and you see where it's talking about the Dreamer's Point.
Okay.
The thing that's kind of in the background there, that's that 3-tiered structure that they're kind of talking about.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You can see a little bit where they're going to be maybe keeping some of the buildings that are currently there and maybe taking away some of the buildings, especially if you're looking at that lower right-hand corner. Mm-hmm. That's where the Disney Nature is, the world World Nature.
Okay.
That's where the kind of World Nature neighborhood is going to be, which makes sense that they wouldn't have that building. And that's also where the Journey of Water inspired by Moana attraction is going to be.
Oh, wow. Okay. And that's going to be, is that an e-ticket attraction?
So all it really says is that it's an exploration trail. So it's not going to be an e-ticket. It's not going to be really a ride so much as it is going to be like a walkthrough type of thing. Oh, okay. And it will invite you to meet and play with magical living water. The water will have a life of its own, just like Moana's friend, the ocean, and you'll learn about the importance of the natural water cycle. So this will probably be kind of right in front of the Seas of Nemo and Friends.
Gotcha.
So it says World Nature is dedicated to understanding and preserving the beauty, awe, and balance of the natural world. It will include the land and the Seas of Nemo and Friends pavilions. So the land is staying there. Seas of Nemo and Friends is staying there. It kind of leaves out the Imagination Pavilion.
Good riddance if it does. I mean, I know that parts of the Imagination Pavilion I really enjoy, but I know that I thought they'd be almost updating the Figment Journey to.
Well, the thing is that when you look at the way the lines are drawn and the way that everything says, if you look at this release here, World Nature encompasses where the Imagination Pavilion currently is.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know what that's going to look like. There's nothing really here that says what's going to happen to the Imagination Pavilion. It doesn't say it's going away. It doesn't say it's staying. It's very much left out, probably intentionally, because they probably don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That means that the future of Journey to Imagination with Figment is kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you kind of have to look at it and go, there's not really a way for them to fit anything. Like there's nothing nature related in the Imagination rumors that have been going on. The Imagination rumors have been saying that it's either going to be Wreck-It Ralph or Inside Out related. So neither one of those is very much nature.
Unless they end up doing, what's that one? Isn't that one with the birds?
You got to be a little bit more specific than that.
Pixar movie with like
Up.
Up. Yes, they could do Up, but Up is represented in Animal Kingdom, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. That's the thing. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what they do replace if they're going to replace it. But I like the way that the concept art and the way that it kind of looks. What I hope is that there's going to be some like Magic Band activated stuff, kind of like how I was talking about how there's a lot of there's band activated stuff at the water park that Universal has, Volcano Bay.
Okay.
There's a lot of water features and stuff that when you just touch your I forget what it's, a tapu tapu that they call it, and you tap that to like the little icon thing, and water features kind of go off, and weird stuff happens. So I think it'd be really cool if that kind of thing happens there. But I have no idea what it's going to look like.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah. The last bit of information that we have is about the World Discovery neighborhood.
Right. Okay. And
so first and foremost,
that's with Guardians of the Galaxy, Test Track, everything, right?
Yeah. So the World Discovery, stories about science, technology, and intergalactic adventures come to life. Which the first thing is we're getting the actual name of the attraction, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
I like this. This sounds really cool.
It will be the first Otherworld showcase pavilion at Epcot. The adventure starts in the Galaxarium, a planetarium-like exhibition that explores the similarities and mysteries of the formation of Earth's galaxy and Xandar. You will be invited to learn more about the treasures Xandar has to share until the moment when the Guardians of the Galaxy arrive and adventures across the cosmos ensue. The attraction will feature a new innovation from Walt Disney Imagineering, a storytelling coaster that rotates 360 degrees to focus your attention on the action, and including the first reverse launch on a Disney coaster.
Incredible. I think it sounds like did Disney never had one before, right?
They've never had a reverse launch. We have reverse coaster, and we have a launch coaster, but it's a first for a reverse launch.
And it sounds like you're going through all the action as it's going around you.
It's kind of, I would imagine it's probably going to be a lot like the Escape from Gringotts at Harry Potter.
Yes, okay.
Hopefully with green screens that actually work. But
burn.
The first time that I went on it, half of the screens didn't work. That's all I'm saying. There was a legit blue screen like there is on a Windows.
Yeah.
It was like the Windows like blue screen of death logo, and it was very awkward.
Definitely rough.
Because it was one of the screens where it was half and half. So you got the action going on one half, and then the other half is just blue screen.
That's crazy.
It was really awkward. But, aside. But yeah, that sounds really cool.
I like that one's there is going to be your 6-hour wait for sure.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But the thing is, you have all these other things to do if you get a virtual queue, if you get a fast pass or something, or if you don't feel like waiting. There's a lot of other stuff to do. That's the good thing about Epcot now.
Yeah.
Now there's, of course, the expansion of the Mission Space Pavilion. The new restaurant Space 220
coming this year
will be a culinary experience featuring the celestial panorama of a space station, including daytime and nighttime views of Earth from 220 miles up.
Incredible.
You'll board a special elevator for a journey to a space station that is home to an incredible dining experience. Along the way, viewports will give you a real-time perspective as you travel high above the planet. Once you arrive, you'll enjoy fantastic meals and drinks while taking in views that are truly out of this world. Opening this winter, Space 220 will be operated by the Patina Group.
That's amazing that it's happening like so soon.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
And it like rotates as you're in the thing, right? Is that the deal?
I don't know about that. I don't, it's some of the details kind of aren't there, and I'm okay with that.
I think it's cool that, it sounds awesome, and it sounds like if you want a reservation for it, you're going to need to stay on property because it's going to be really tough.
I would imagine so, yeah, because it sounds really cool. I'm definitely going to check it out as soon as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It might be a long wait for that one.
But yeah, that entire Discovery Island, just the Discovery neighborhood sounds so cool.
Yeah. And then there's more. But wait, there's more. The Play Pavilion will open in time for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World.
Which is 2 years.
Yeah. In this digital metropolis, you'll discover an interactive city bursting with games, activities, and experiences that connect you with friends, family, and beloved Disney characters, both real and virtual, like never before. As part of this new pavilion, you'll have the chance to help legendary fashion icon Edna Mode on her quest to rid the world of uninspired style, or make a splash competing in a water balloon fight hosted by Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby of DuckTales.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is that like a virtual deal, or is that kind of like
It doesn't really say. It looks like the play pavilion is going to be where the Wonders of Life pavilion currently is. That more of it's just like a festival center right now. So,
yeah,
but I think,
that's cool. It sounds super interactive too.
and yeah, super interactive. It sounds like hopefully it's going to be what they wanted. The
Original like Club Cool deal with like you could like make your own roller coaster type thing.
Right, yeah. So where like Some of All Fears was and all of that stuff. And again, I'm blanking on the name. I apologize.
That's okay.
I'm usually much better at this.
No, but I think that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and because a lot of that stuff was kind of hidden gem stuff. Like Some of All Fears. There's that. You can't get that kind of experience really anywhere else, where you get to design a roller coaster and then test it out in a motion simulator. Like, especially now that Disney Quest closed down, there's nothing like it. So I'm hoping that maybe they held on to either the Disney Quest stuff or the stuff from I'm blanking on what the actual name was.
Sounds almost like a interactive arcadey type deal.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's fun. Well, which part about this are you looking most forward to, Steve? We said the World Discovery.
World Discovery is where I'm at, just because I'm here for the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, a Mission Space restaurant, and this play pavilion sounds really cool too.
Well, let us know in the comment section what you guys are looking most forward to about the new and reimagined Epcot. We'll be back real soon with the rest of our breakdown of D23. And anything you want to say here, Steve, before we get on out of here?
We'll see you real soon. Everybody have a magical week.
Yeah, we will see you guys in the next video.